Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Happy Aura with Jenny. I am so deeply grateful that you have chosen to spend a few moments of your day with me. Before we begin, I want to invite you to do something just for yourself. Wherever you are, whether you are sitting in your car, lying in bed, or taking a walk, simply pause. Take a deep, nourishing breath in through your nose, counting silently to 4. Hold it for a moment, feeling the air fill your lungs and expand your chest. And now, release it slowly through your mouth, letting your shoulders drop, letting your jaw soften, and letting the tension of the day melt away. You are safe here. You are welcome here. And you are worthy of understanding the deepest parts of your heart. Today, we are going to explore a topic that is both incredibly painful and incredibly liberating. It is a topic that touches on the very core of why we suffer in relationships. We are going to talk about the people we choose to love and the heartbreaking reasons why we often choose people who cannot love us back. There is one specific question that people who are deeply enmeshed in the throes of love, or what they believe to be love, seldom find the occasion to ask themselves. These are the people who might have been pursuing someone for years in vain. These are the people who are trying so incredibly hard to make a relationship work, twisting themselves into knots to accommodate a partner's needs, while their own go unmet, despite a rock-solid certainty that they are in love, despite the intensity of the feelings that consume their waking hours. The question they rarely pause to ask is this: is the person I love actually nice to me? I want you to let that sink in for a moment. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? It sounds almost too simple to be the key to our romantic salvation. But it is the most important question you will ever ask. A lot of other things seem not to be in any doubt in your mind. You are certain that the person is amazing. You are certain that they are talented or beautiful or charismatic. You are certain that their name popping up on your phone screen makes your heart jump into your throat. You are certain that the chemistry is electric. But what remains astonishingly unexplored is something much more banal, yet infinitely more vital. Are these people actually kind? And here, in this quiet space of reflection, despite all the extraordinary devotion you pour into them, the answer is liable to be rather confusing. If you are really honest with yourself, if you strip away the fantasy and look at the bare facts of your daily interaction, it seems that this loved one, the recipient of so much of your care and passion, is not necessarily especially kind back. They may be grumpy more often than they are cheerful. They may be unfaithful, wandering in their attention or their actions. They might not have been in touch for months, leaving you in a state of suspended animation, waiting for a crumb of connection. They may take ages to reply to a text message, leaving you staring at those 3 little dots or the silence of a blank screen, wondering what you did wrong. They might make you feel small. They might make you feel like a burden. This brings us to the ostensible paradox of our love lives. Why on earth does this flawed and cruel being elicit such care from us? Why do we pour our best energy into the black hole of their indifference? If a friend treated us this way, we would be furious. If a stranger treated us this way, we would walk away. But when it is this person, we stay. And the answer is profound and sad. The person is loved, not despite their lack of kindness and reciprocity, but precisely because of it. This is a hard truth to swallow. It feels counterintuitive. We like to think we want happiness. We like to think we want peace. So why do some of us end up associating the word love with a lack of calm? Why do we associate passion with an absence of generosity? And what is more, why do we not even notice that we do so? Why does anxiety feel like chemistry to us? The answer, as ever, lies in the difficulties of the past. It lies in the blueprints of affection that were drawn up when we were too young to understand what was happening. There is a whole category of us who faced a specific and heartbreaking dilemma in childhood. It goes something like this. Firstly, we had parents or caregivers who should have loved us. That was their job. That is the biological imperative. And secondly, for a variety of reasons, perhaps due to their own trauma, their own depression, their own narcissism, or their own immaturity, they didn't. Or at least, they didn't love us in the way we needed to be loved. They didn't love us consistently. They didn't love us safely. And so, as small children, we had to deal with a terrifying reality. We had to deal with a lack of affection from people who should have adored us. A child cannot accept that their parent is flawed. A child relies on the parent for survival. So, to make sense of this, we did something clever but damaging. We created an association between love and absence. We wired our brains to believe that love and suffering are the same thing. We learned that love means never knowing where one stands. We learned that love means hoping in vain for a better outcome. We learned to blame ourselves for others' disregard of us. We thought, if I were just quieter, maybe they would love me. If I were just smarter, maybe they would notice me. If I were just less needy, maybe they wouldn't be so angry. We internalized the idea that we had to earn love through suffering and self-negation. We learned to be endlessly patient. We learned not to name hardness of heart when we saw it. Instead, we called it stress or tiredness. We learned to hope endlessly for a change of mind in the other person, believing that if we just waited long enough, the sun would eventually shine on us. And now, here we are in adulthood. We have grown up, we have jobs, we pay taxes, we look like adults. But inside, that wiring remains intact. It simply will not occur to us to call out bad behavior as soon as it arises in a partner. We don't have the mechanism for it. When a partner is rude or dismissive or cold, we don't think, this person is not good for me. We think, I must try harder. We don't register that we haven't been happy in 6 months. We don't register that our partner's behavior is mocking us grossly. We ignore the data because the data contradicts our hope. Our response to someone ignoring us is not to leave, it is to beg. It is to chase. It is to try to prove our worth. We are no more able now to ask, is the person I love nice to me? Than we were at the age of 5. Back then, asking that question would have been too dangerous. It would have meant admitting that our caregivers were failing us. And the answer in both cases would, of course, have been a resounding no. So, what do we do with this realization? How do we break a cycle that has been turning since we were in diapers? What we should do instead needs, for some of us, to be stated very bluntly. We need to hear it clearly, without ambiguity. We need to write it on our mirrors and sticky notes. However beautiful someone may be, however charming they might have been at the start, however successful they are, however much potential we see in their eyes, the only and truly the only basis on which we should be with anyone is if they are kind to us. That is the metric. Not excitement, not danger, not validation. Kindness. Otherwise, what we have in our hands is not a loved one. It is not a partner. It is not a soulmate. It is simply someone who mirrors old wounds. It is a ghost from the past wearing a new face. If they aren't sure they can commit, we shouldn't be there. I know how much it hurts to hear that. I know the urge to wait, to be the exception, to be the one who changes their mind. But ambiguity is not love. Ambiguity is a lack of care. If they would rather spend time with their friends than with us, consistently and without balance, we shouldn't be there. If they see us as an open wound and suggest we are too much or too sensitive or too dramatic for simply having needs, we shouldn't be there. Let us state this as a very basic mantra for our lives going forward. We should only love kind and keen people. Let's break that down. Kind means they are gentle with your heart. They speak to you with respect. They care about your day. They bring you soup when you are sick. They apologize when they hurt you. And keen means they want to be there. They are excited to see you. You don't have to guess if they like you. You don't have to decode their texts like a detective. Their interest is obvious. Their presence is consistent. People who listen to us and are committed to our welfare are the only people we should allow into our inner sanctum. Anyone else is not a candidate for love. They are a residue of trauma. They are an echo of a painful past that is trying to replay itself in your present. When you start to shift this paradigm, something strange will happen. You might find that the bad boys or the ice queens who used to make your heart race suddenly seem unappealing. You might realize that the anxiety you mistook for butterflies was actually your nervous system screaming danger. And you might find that nice people who you previously dismissed as boring or lacking spark suddenly look very different. You might realize that what you thought was boredom was actually safety. You might realize that peace is not boring. Peace is the prerequisite for true intimacy. This journey of reparenting ourselves is not easy. It requires us to sit with the discomfort of being treated well. It sounds strange, but for those of us used to crumbs, a feast can feel overwhelming. When someone is kind to us, we might feel suspicious. We might wait for the other shoe to drop. But we must practice receiving kindness. We must practice believing that we are worthy of a love that does not hurt. I want you to imagine a version of your life where you do not have to check your phone every 5 minutes to see if they replied. Imagine a life where you do not have to analyze every word they said to find hidden meaning. Imagine a life where you come home to someone who is simply happy to see you. A person whose face lights up when you walk in the room. A person who asks, "How are you?" and actually waits to hear the answer. That life is available to you, but it requires you to close the door on the people who cannot give that to you. It requires you to stop trying to buy bread at the hardware store. You cannot get kindness from people who do not have it to give. You cannot get commitment from people who are committed to their own freedom above all else. You have spent enough time being the patient one. You have spent enough time being the understanding one. You have spent enough years of your life trying to solve the puzzle of someone else's emotional unavailability. It is time to retire from that job. It is time to focus on your own heart. The next time you meet someone new, or the next time you look at your current partner, I want you to summon the courage to ask the question. Look past the smile. Look past the attraction. Look past the history and ask, is this person nice to me? If the answer is anything other than a confident yes, then you know what to do. It will be painful to walk away. It will trigger all those old feelings of abandonment. But staying is far more painful. Staying is an abandonment of yourself. And you have abandoned yourself for long enough. You deserve a love that is soft. You deserve a love that is safe. You deserve a love that adds to your life rather than draining it. You are a precious, unique, unrepeatable miracle of the universe. Do not let anyone treat you like an option. Do not let anyone treat you like an afterthought. As we wrap up today's session, I want you to place your hand over your heart. Feel its beat. That is the rhythm of your life. It is steady. It is strong. Promise yourself right now, in this moment, that you will protect that heart. Promise yourself that you will no longer offer it to those who do not know how to hold it with gentle hands. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being brave enough to look at the hard truths. Remember, you are not alone in this. We are all learning, we are all growing, and we are all finding our way back to the love we deserve. Keep your aura bright, keep your boundaries strong, and be incredibly kind to yourself today. Because if you are kind to yourself, you will set the standard for how the world treats you. I am sending you so much love and light. Until next time, take care of you. You are the most important project you will ever work on. Goodbye for now. let us consider the practical steps you can take this week. I want you to conduct an audit of your relationships, not just romantic ones, but friendships too. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they kind? Do they listen? Do they support you? Or do they drain you? Do they make you feel anxious? It is okay to slowly distance yourself from the people who are not nice to you. It is okay to say no to plans with people who make you feel small. You are not being mean. You are being discerning. You are curating your life. You are tending to your garden and weeding out the plants that are choking your joy. Think about the little child you once were, the one who wanted to be loved. If you saw that child today and someone was being mean to them, ignoring them, or making them wait, what would you do? You would protect them. You would pick them up and take them somewhere safe. You would tell them, you don't have to stay here. You are that child. You are also the adult who can save them. You have the power now. You have the car keys. You have the bank account. You have the autonomy. You don't have to stay in the room with the people who hurt you anymore. You can walk out. It is a radical act to choose happiness. It is a radical act to refuse to suffer. Society often romanticizes the tortured lover. Movies and songs tell us that love is supposed to hurt, that it's supposed to be a battlefield. But that is a lie. Real love is not a battlefield. It is a sanctuary. Real love is the place you go to heal from the battles of the world. So, when you go out into the dating world, wear your self-worth like a suit of armor. Do not be afraid to be picky. Being picky just means you know your value. Do not be afraid to ask the hard questions early on. Do not be afraid to silence the phone and walk away if the text doesn't come. The right person will not make you wait. The right person will not make you guess. The right person will make you feel seen, heard, and held. And until that person arrives, be that person for yourself. Treat yourself with the exquisite kindness you are seeking. Buy yourself the flowers. Take yourself to the nice dinner. Speak to yourself with the gentle voice you long to hear. Because when you fill your own cup with kindness, you will no longer be so thirsty that you drink poison just because it is liquid. You will be full. You will be whole. And from that place of wholeness, you will attract the love that matches your vibration. Thank you again for being here. You are making progress, even when it feels slow. Every time you choose yourself, you are rewiring those old pathways. Every time you say no to unkindness, you are saying yes to your future. Be proud of yourself. I am certainly proud of you. Have a beautiful, kind, and gentle week. You deserve it.